So welcome to Booked, Busy, and Built Different, where purpose meets hustle. I'm your host, Des Area, and this is the Des Area Show. Let's get into it, okay?
Thank you so much for tuning in once again. Today we are on our Father's Day segment, and we are sitting down with a man who hustles, run deep, whose story it runs even deeper. Corey is a seasoned entrepreneur who's been holding it down in the industry for over a decade, building not just businesses, but a brand rooted in authenticity, style, and purpose. Behind the storefront and success lies a powerful journey of struggle, strength, and father's influence that never wavered, even after the divorce. And as we step into the season of Father's Day, Corey's story reminds us that presence, love, and guidance don't just require perfection, but consistency. Let's get into it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I got one thing though. I'm not gonna let you get away with calling it season. Again, season means old. You know what I'm saying? And you just tried to slide that in there.
Well, but this season is better than old, though. Everybody didn't know that.
Right.
See, I didn't learn that until I was like 18, so everybody don't know that.
And then you like your food season anyway.
So yeah, it's
I
good.
can't roll with that.
Flavor.
Yeah. I can't roll with that. Leave it. Don't call me old.
I get you. So if we could just take it back, just tell us, just share with us who a young Corey was growing up.
Young Corey was totally active. I stayed into anything. I got hurt doing everything, and I went back and did it again just to make sure I did it right. So if I left at the house at 7 in the morning, I came back at 7 at night with 5 people carrying me from either exhaustion from playing too much. I broke my arm for jumping ramps when I was told not to jump ramps, and so that's a funny story for another time. But you got to remember, cell phones are new.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And when I grew up, we ain't had none. So when your mama says she gonna be back at 4 something, and you break your arm at 12, you can't
gotta wait till
call her.
4.
You can't call her in between the times. You got to wait to 4.
So was this the time when you had to be at home before the street lights came on?
Oh yeah.
That type of time. Okay.
But man, it was crazy, man. But Corey, man, a young Corey, man, my dad stayed at me because again, street lights come on early in the summertime.
Right.
I'm still playing football,
right.
Bro.
It's still light outside.
Yeah, we still playing football. And even in the dark, we still playing football. You know what I'm
Are
saying?
you sure?
Are we still doing whatever it is that we doing? You know what I'm saying? So highly active, man. I stayed into everything. I was a part of almost everything that you could think of. If you could think about good, bad, and in between,
the ugly, all of it.
I did it all.
Okay.
I did it all. So I left no stone unturned back in my youth. Today I'm a different guy.
You was young and turned.
Yeah. A little bit different from what y'all call YNs now.
You on this type of time. The YNs a little different.
Right, they time different than what we had going on. Now I did my fair share of dirt, but I ain't that rough.
Okay, you cleaned yourself up a bit. You knew you still had to come home and answer the mama and daddy. Okay, yeah, I feel it. If you could just describe the environment you were raised in, what shaped you most?
Man, so growing up, we grew up on every side of town, but mostly in projects. So my mama, to make money, she was a candy lady.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, my mom sold candy everywhere. And so entrepreneurship was always in the blood because she had 4 jobs, plus she sold candy and went to school.
So y'all was moving the candy while she was at work.
Right. But I got the chance to see what a hustle looks like. And then hiring people to hustle for you. You see what it all looks like.
Yeah.
And so I was paying attention, but not paying attention, but mostly paying attention. You know what I'm saying? Because I had my own hustle. I was still in the candy. Mom, I'm sorry. Again, I apologize. So just so you know, when you see this, I stole some of your candy. I stole some of your chips and drinks. But if you don't charge me interest, I can't pay you back now.
I feel like it's going to be many times in this interview where you telling your mom you sorry.
Right, because I have done some things that she may or may not know about.
You might want to go.
I'm just apologize
for all of it.
All the way around, Mom. So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, but it was definitely a time. But the entrepreneurship spirit was in me. My uncle owned a McDonald's. One more time I said my uncle owned a McDonald's. You know what that is? Like
everybody know what that is.
You know what McDonald's is, but you don't know a dude who owns one.
Right.
A black dude that owned one. Again, this is the 80s. The 90s. And so, I ain't spend a lot of time with this dude, but I hear about him all the time.
Right.
Then I hear about and I see A.G. Gaston because I go to the Boys and Girls Club. He one day he said something to me. He took me out to his house. Well, not just me, but a group of us to his house. And he told me I was special. And that changed me because, again, he ain't had to say nothing to me. People everywhere.
This is the owner of A.G. Gaston?
Right.
Oh, so Dr. This is A.G. Gaston. Oh, okay.
Dr. A.G.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's like, yo, you special. There's something about you. You got a light on. You know what I'm saying? And if you learn how to cultivate that light, you'll be special. If you don't, you'll still be special. But you know what I'm saying? You won't be as you could be.
Right.
And so it's just people like that around me at all times. Like my favorite uncle, Uncle Ken. Now my Uncle Ed owned the McDonald's, but my Uncle Ken was my favorite uncle. He worked with him.
Okay.
And I take working for people out all the time because when you're growing something, you work with people.
Right.
And when you're not growing something, you work for somebody. So a lot of people are employed and you just work for that person and you can't see growth in that company. But if you work with a person, you can always see growth in that company. So Uncle King always talk to me about whenever I talk to him, because he stayed up in New York. So they own the McDonald's and they stay in New York. I'm in Alabama.
Like they big time.
They big time.
Yeah, they got it.
I feel like them, that's Jesus and God.
Right.
You
Hello.
know what I'm saying? They're hanging out.
Like
so,
my uncle owned McDonald's. I can't talk to you.
Right. So but he would drop jewels on me all the time about how to make it, how to do this, how to do that. So it's just a melting pot of stuff.
Right.
And again, just growing up from place to place, being in this area and that area, man, I got a lot of good stuff poured into me. When you seeking something and people can see you seeking it, they help you out.
Right.
All kind of business owners just help me out. Mr. Eason, definitely can't. Man, 9 years old. This place called Jones Barbecue and Fish. If you from excuse me, if you from North Birmingham, you know about Robert Jones.
Is that the same guy with the Trent Trail? No, Robert Jones. Okay, yeah.
So Robert Jones is a restaurant, chicken restaurant.
Got you.
Right across the street from Sipico. Right across the street from Sipico plant, right? So if you're from that area, you know at 10 years old, I was running that place.
Really?
Yeah, at 10. From the age of 8 to 9, I was just working it, right? But this guy showed me the ropes on how to run the business because he was so busy. He was the cook. It was back then when you owned the business, he was everybody. He was the cook, he was the maintenance man, he was the server, he was all this, but he couldn't be the cashier at the same time.
Right.
So he showed me how to be the cashier. And from the cashier, I learned how to be the cook. And then this, and then this, and then this, and then that, and then this, and then that. And then when he had to go to the store to pick up stuff, I got to do all of this stuff. And I'm 9, 10. You know what I'm saying? And I got to get the customers to respect me and not run over me.
Right.
So it was a beautiful experience the whole time.
I bet. Man, that's crazy. I got some stories about some customers wanting to run over me as a young child. So I feel that, man. Right. I used to work at churches, right? The 99-cent Mondays tore me up. It was this lady wanted to jump across the counter because she couldn't get the chicken she wanted.
Right.
That's crazy. So I understand exactly where you come from. I was only 16, so I can only imagine you at 10.
Right.
You ain't gonna tell me what to do. You can't. You don't even know my order number. Yeah. You can't even add up right. Yeah. So was entrepreneurship, with that being said, was entrepreneurship always on your radar? Or did that just lead you there? Or
so when I was young, man, I really love my father, man. So when I say this, I don't want nobody to take it the wrong way. I never wanted to be like him. It was two people in life I never wanted to be like. It was my father and a guy named Double. Right? And the reason why I say I didn't want to be like my father because I watched him work every day.
Right.
And I watched how that company worked him down into a hole where he didn't even have time for himself.
And they couldn't use him no more.
Right. And so that's why I said I didn't want to be like my father. And then Double O was a guy who I admired because he had everything. He had the GI Bill. He had all these things going for him. But him as a man let it all go because he fell in love with a drug. And I'm sorry for saying this out loud because he's a wonderful guy. But that thing took over him, right? And he went from this super soldier to less than an image of himself.
Right.
And so after seeing those two people, I had those two pictures of a man. I didn't want to be there. I liked the other pictures of a man I had in my wallet. A.G. Gaston, my Uncle Ed, Uncle Ken. Those pictures of the men, those are the pictures that I was able to put together and work out into the entrepreneur lifestyle. The
gumbo pot that you was talking about earlier. Yeah. So you've been in the industry. You've been in the clothing game for over 10 years. What made you stick with it through ups and downs?
Well, so the clothing industry is we got to see it right first. So clothing is called textile, and textile is something that's going to be here forever. Textile goes into clothing is a part of, but it goes into wall decoration. It goes into this. It goes into that. So even when you have to have robots running the world,
Right.
you still got to put on clothes.
Still got to put on
Yeah.
clothes.
So the ups and downs of the clothing business, man, it's still a wave, and you got to just ride it. But now, being in the business for 25 years, I know when the seasons are.
Right.
And so you make money, you save money, ride the wave when you don't. You know what I'm saying? Prepare yourself to have sales. Everything, even if you sell a dope, you got bad seasons in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So nothing lasts forever. Nothing. It's just like the stock market. You're gonna have ups and you're gonna have downs. As long as you can ride the wave, you're in the game.
Hello. All right, yes, sir. So if you could just tell us what was the lowest moment on this journey and how did you bounce back?
$0 days. In the penitentiary.
Mm.
I neglected to tell you about that part, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So this entrepreneurship journey took me to the penitentiary.
It took you there.
Yeah. So for those that need to know, selling tennis shoes without a and I'm trying to say it just as nice way as possible because I had one. They just didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I had
You weren't playing
a
their game.
contract. Right. I had a contract with Nike, but it went through the American Nike company.
Okay.
Mine was through the Chinese Nike company.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? And so I had a direct connect over there. So Frank Lucas in tennis shoes, right?
Uh-huh. Right.
So, but we sold a bunch of shoes.
Right.
But going to the penitentiary was one of the lowest moments I thought until I understand the lesson
Mm-hmm.
of going to the penitentiary. Now I wouldn't change that for nothing on earth. And I know it sounds crazy to some people, but that changed my life. I was able to learn a lot in that time about how to grow, how men do, what men do, why men do what they do, and how to share this lesson with the next set of men. And so I had to go down that street to be able to talk to all the young men that are headed down that same road.
Right.
Like say, yo, I've done that.
You can see yourself in a lot of them.
Right. Because I've done that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm outside of that, so you don't have to let that hold you back.
Right.
So that was one of the lowest moments in there. And that $0 days hurt at that moment.
Right.
Because you ain't make no money, you still got to feed people. But you can always bounce back from that. But everything else around you, you have to just look at it. This is not a reality. It's whatever we make it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Reality is what we make. So with those things that you think about daily, that's what your life is.
Yeah.
And so I just started thinking about a better life, and boom, here we are today.
Okay. So that's like, so before you went to the penitentiary, before you went down that road, like, did you have yourself set up for when you came back, or?
So you can set yourself up as best you possibly can.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you never know how long that road might go. You might go down there with 3 years, right?
Right.
But if you get into a fight and you end up with 5,
right,
you never know. So yes, I put some things in place, and the blessing for me is that it worked.
Okay, good.
It did work, everything but the marriage.
Yeah.
So after that, I got divorced after that, but everything else worked out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We was able to come back to something. A lot of people can't come back to
Right. Everybody can go with you.
Right.
Hello. And how did your past and your personal struggles fuel your grind?
Man, just defeats. I don't like being defeated, and in my head, I can't be defeated, so I use defeats as these stepping stones.
Mm-hmm.
If you beat me today, I had to beat you for the rest of the week.
Right.
And then that makes me feel better. And so if I beat you for the rest of the week and I learned the lesson in it, it just makes me thrive for the next section.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and I treat things like a competition only with myself. People say, man, how you move next door to Hibbs? Ain't that your direct competition? Yes and no. Hibbs sells shoes.
Right.
I sell clothes. How many people you know buy clothes out of Hibbs for real?
Right.
I'm saying real slow. How many people you know buy clothes out of Hibbs
Not
for
none.
real? You know what I'm saying? People do, but they don't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and if I thought Hibbs was a competition, then in my head there'd be a competition, and I would always be crying about it.
Right.
Same thing with Foot Locker. Foot Locker right there. Foot Locker sells clothes. How many people? I mean, when Foot Locker sells shoes,
right?
How many people you know really buy clothes from Foot Locker? All right. Same thing with City Gear. All right. City Gear is a little bit different. People actually do buy clothes out of there, right?
Right.
Right. But they don't put them together the way we put them together.
Hello. It's the difference. It's what you put on
it.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So again, what you see in front of you can be your Goliath, or you can mentally take Goliath off the block, and he don't even exist. Now everybody on the same playing field.
Right. It's so many people that live in Birmingham or are from Birmingham, and they feel like Birmingham only support popularity. I'm like that's exactly what you just said. You got to just put yourself on that even playing field and let them know, like, I have arrived, and this is what I came to do. And once you show up as who you are, your community, your tribe, they're gonna follow you.
Right. And yeah, you have to remember, everybody ain't your customer.
Everybody ain't your people.
Right. But you don't want everybody as your customer anyway.
That's a headache.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So now you get a chance to figure out. And then this is the one thing, the one huge difference between me and hippies. Right? You can come touch me.
Yeah.
You can't touch the hippie dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We don't even know who the hippie dude is.
Right. So that makes me more important than where we at right now. You know what I'm saying? Now I can grow to be like him, and I still wouldn't do it where in which you can touch it. You know what I'm saying? But I would have something now in which you can touch, make you feel like you're a part of it, so we grow together.
Right. Their reality, make it real. What are lessons from your business that help you grow or heal personally?
Oh, understand that life is a wave.
Up and down.
Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. So take the anxiety out of it. You know it's gonna happen. One day it's gonna be great. The next day it's gonna be all right. One day it's gonna be super good. The next day ain't gonna be nothing. You know what I'm saying? Take the good with the bad. Ride your wave. Understand it is a wave. And on every wave you get, there's gonna be some good and a lesson learned. It's never anything bad. It's never a loss. It's just a lesson learned. And then how many times you decide that you're gonna take before you learn that lesson, how many times you're gonna go through that same cycle. Right. But the quicker you learn that lesson, you know what I'm saying? So the main thing is understand that life comes in cycles. Figure out what the purpose of this cycle is, stand tall on that, move on.
Okay. Keep going. So that brings me to, like, even when you, like, every time I see you, always calm. Like, you can just went through the most amount of crap and you still calm. Like, how do you remain even calm when, some great things happen to you? Are you still like counting on, like, this is the high, but that low is right around the corner, or how do you manage it?
So I keep highs and lows at minimums. So I take the high, put it at a minimum. Okay. I take the low and bring it up to a minimum. Okay. So it begins an even playing field. You see what I'm saying? So the motion is the part that get us in trouble, right? So I can take that whole day and be mad in 5 points with. Yeah. It's a bunch of stuff that they can make you mad. Right. But then taking that time being mad, I neglect the customer. You know what I'm saying? That person came to see me for a reason. Right. He had an issue, and I neglected his issue because I was mad about something that ain't had nothing to do with him. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we had to do: separate. Some of these things that you can handle, handle. If you can't handle, speak on it, but don't worry with it. Yeah, that ain't your weight to carry. You can say something about it, but it ain't your weight to carry. So leave it there. Now these things came over time. Don't never think that I got this way overnight. Yeah, because if you ask Mr. Davis, he'll tell you something different. He's like, man, that boy crazy. He ain't what you saying he is. Because certain people see me in that light. Right, you know what I'm saying? And so certain people don't. But Mr. Davis is one of those ones who was fortunate for me, but unfortunate for him. He get to see to come up. Right. He's seen every part of court. Right. Me and Mr. Davis been together since ain't paying Scott school. Literally. So elementary school, so like maybe 3rd, 4th grade. Right. Wow. So he's seen every part of me. Literally. You know what I'm saying? And he's with me now. So I don't think I would be able to be who I am today without Mr. Davis. So shout out Mr. Davis. Happy Father's Day to you too, sir. Reginald Davis is a great friend. He's a great mentor. Yeah. I ain't never told him he's my mentor before, but he's a great mentor. You know what I'm saying? Because he is literally, between him and Charles Burgess, I ain't never seen nobody no calm. Never seen what? Anybody, any calmer. Mr. Davis is one cool person. He don't let nothing get up on his skin. Yeah. So me surrounding myself with people like that, I'm learning how to do that as well. But I ain't never seen Reg, man. Ever. And again, I've been around him for years. Right. If he get mad, he must go home and tell it to his wife or something. I ain't never heard about that. Right. Him in the same sitting. Right. So he's literally seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. Man, this man has seen everything about Corey. Hello. Yeah. Okay. And also I want to switch gears for a little bit because you speak so highly of your father. Like anytime I see you, you speak so highly of this man. What was that relationship like for you guys growing up, even after the divorce? Right. So this Tony Bishop is my father, man. Got him cremated, so I keep him a bit with me every day. Um, Man, my dad showed me so many different things in life, man. It was such an inspiration because again, I didn't like the way he worked, but the weekends he was off, and we spent that time together, and so I got a chance to see his charisma, his style. My dad was a fly guy. His clothes game was crazy for even back in the day.
Yeah, and I see that in you so much every time.
Right, man. Man, my dad was curly hair. I ain't never seen a dark skinned dude with curly hair. You know what I'm saying? So Pops was it. I just had to figure out the it part that I really loved about him. And once he started showing me his charisma, his style, his with the way he talked, interact when he went around the family, I was like, man, my dad don't act like this at home. This dude, he is really a person of the world.
He's pretty cool.
Like people respect this man.
Yeah.
And so that's what influenced me to be who I am and what I am. Even after the divorce, he didn't spend all the time with me, but the times that he could spend with me or talk with me, he still gave me that same stuff. He still gave me that same style. You know, and I appreciate him. I appreciate the way he taught me. At 16, we lived together. He came back after the divorce. We lived together, right? And we stayed together for a while, maybe 2-3 years.
Oh, he came and scooped you up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Were you being bad or?
No. He was like, yo, I had to come get my son.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's dope.
So
that's dope.
Like you did your part. And we appreciate you, mother, right? But for this stage in his life, that's what he needs. You know, of course I was being me, but so good, bad, or ugly, but he said I need to come get my son. So we lived together up until the point where he moved out. Again, I'm 16.
He moved out on you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna say he got me together. He asked me a couple questions. He was like, "You straight?" I was like, "Yeah." I ain't understand the line of questioning.
He's like, "I'm thinking so."
Like I'm finna move with my girlfriend.
Say what?
You got a job, right? I was like, "Yeah." How many things he asked me can I afford the rent?
He knew you had it.
He just said you got a job, right?
He knew you had it.
Yeah, I'm finna go move with my girlfriend. And so that scared me to death because I was excited to be 16 with my own apartment in high school, right? But I was scared to death, but I never paid bills. Right? But he walked me through it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this how you do this how you do that, this how you do this. And then I had to come up with my own ways of doing stuff.
Right.
Like figuring out how to pay the bills. Again, at 16, I ain't thinking about saving no money. I can't think about saving
you young and turn. Why not?
I'm trying to party. I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying, get it up. So I had to figure out different ways, different routes. So one of the routes I came up with is on how to pay your bills. Add everything up. Once you get that total, say it's $1,000. I got paid every week, $250 a week. Boom.
For everything.
For everything. It's everything.
Yeah.
It's lights, water, everything. I can pay all my bills on time, every time.
Right.
If I just do this. So sometimes I did it and it worked out. Sometimes I didn't do it. I got behind. I realized, hey, do that.
Right.
Do that. And that way I always had money in my pocket. Everybody else in the project, they was always broke because they paid their bills the wrong way. And once I realized, hey, I'm on the right path here.
Right.
Shut up like a rocket.
Yeah. And I'm sure them same folks that was in the projects with you back then still come back and forth to your shops.
Right.
Back and forth to your place of business. And I also wanted to ask, so was your dad as calm as you?
Yeah. I think I seen my dad into one fight. And I heard about it. I went there.
Yeah.
He was at the club and he was finna sit down and the dude snatched his chair from up under him and he fell on the ground.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And so that's the one time I heard he got into a fight, and I heard that he did something terrible to that dude.
Yeah.
Because it was his chair from the beginning.
Right.
And the dude was trying to impress some girl. And so dad ended up with the girl. That was long after everything. he beat the dude and ended up with the girl.
I take my chair and my girl. Thank you.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You're good. When he was just, it was just, you know what I'm saying? So he won on that. But again, man, Pops was just such a cool guy. And anybody who came to the shop while he was there, they knew him.
Right.
For one or two things, him either sleeping out there on the porch or him ironing. He would iron customer clothes for a fee.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. That man had them crease in them pants. Kept a crease in his pants.
And the reason why he ironed the clothes, he was like, man, y'all young folks don't know how to iron. I tell you what, you just bought the outfit, give me $10 I iron it for you. Right? And I didn't think it was going to work.
Yeah.
Man, people started calling me real bit. Hey, man, Pops there, man. I'm like, yeah, that was wrong, man. You need an outfit or something? Nah, I just need to iron my clothes. What? Why you call me then? You should call him. I don't make no money off him ironing.
You're not ironing?
Man, so I'm starting to get jealous of him ironing. You know what I'm saying? You know how cool you got to be to hustle the iron.
Hello.
You see what I'm saying? So it's just
That's different.
right.
Yeah.
So this pops was just again, pops, A.D. Gaston, Uncle Ken, Uncle Ed, all these people around me. They just this is what they do, and if you got any kind of glue to you, you gonna stick to something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and this how I end up where I'm at today, sticking this thing. Just all these people being dropped in my life, telling me I'm gonna be this, telling me I'm gonna be this, telling me I'm gonna be this. Partner Eric, man, Eric's I'm fresh out of high school then. Eric owned a couple of stores, and then he had just sold a store, right? And
Oh,
I asked
wow.
him, I said, and I'm out there washing his car,
Uh-huh.
right? I said, bro, since you sold the store, what you gonna do? That man looked me square in my face and said, dude, I'm a millionaire, man. I ain't finna do nothing. Correct. If you stay on your path, you the next one.
Mm-hmm.
Stay down. He wasn't lying.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was not lying. I'm definitely the next one. So, but people like that drop inspiration.
Right. Having those people in your life.
Right. But you got to put yourself in a position to be around those people because they are around you, but they just don't talk to you because you ain't never showed them who you could be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? People just don't. People, men of stamina or men of status, they speak for quality. Not speak for quantity.
Yeah.
They ain't just talking all the time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you can impress a man like that, then you got something.
Yeah. Okay. Teach me some. How did your dad show up for you even when things weren't perfect?
Just staying being a listening ear.
Mm-hmm.
Just being a listening ear. A lot of times as we grow up, we realize we really don't want you to solve our problems. I just need somebody to tell it to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And by you just sitting there listening and me saying it out loud, a lot of times I can figure it out myself.
Right.
I just need somebody to hear me say it out loud.
The soundboard.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So and again that was being there like, do you really think you made the right decision? Maybe think about what this is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, you don't think it was the right one? He said, "It's mine to make. It was yours. I just want to make sure you feel like you made the right one."
Right.
I ain't saying that did you right or wrong. And then that was one of those things that make these guys doggone like, he could be saying it to make me double think, or he could be saying it to make me say, hey, stand tall on what you see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to figure that out.
Right.
So I guess I was my father's kind of like Jesus. He liked these riddles and all this stuff. Like, but won't you just talk to me?
Just say what you're trying to say. Because ain't nobody trying to go through all that. What's one moment with your dad that you'll never forget, good or bad, and how did it shape who you are?
I got a report card one time. I got
What?
all this. Right? I ain't even try. So listen, I ain't gonna say I ain't try. I ain't pay my employees this 6 weeks. So I lost out on my report card, right?
Dang, you had employees like that all the way back in the day.
So you gotta think about it. I sold candy.
Yeah.
So everybody want candy.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So here's the thing. If you do my schoolwork, you gotta pay for candy.
Right.
I got you. I ain't pay my employees. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? I got caught stealing from my mom, so I ain't had no money.
Oh.
So this 6 weeks I messed up. So I had to figure out what I'm gonna do to get out this whipping because I know I'm gonna get one. Because my mom took me up to their job.
Right.
So I'm 20 minutes. I'm trying to figure it out. What I'm gonna do to get out this whipping? I got it. As soon as she opened the door, I'm gonna fall out the car.
What?
Right? And act like I'm hurt. In my head, the plan was perfect.
Uh-huh.
I had worked it all out. I'm to my scenes, skits, and everything. I knew what I was gonna say, how I was gonna act.
To a T.
My pain looked.
Yeah.
That right. She stopped. I opened the door. Boom, right into the act. Boom, fill out the car. Dad was coming. Get your dumb ass about the gun.
He already knew what it was.
Right.
You his son. He already knew what it was.
Right. Then you gonna give me the little kick. Get your ass when we get home.
Ain't getting out of that one.
But that moment right there let me know that he knew who I was.
Uh-huh.
He truly know who I am. You know what I'm saying? So that moment has stuck with me for ever since it happened. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of great stories about my father, but that one right there let me know that me and him was one.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, man,
your mama gonna get you too.
Yeah, right.
You try to blame that on her.
Right. Oh, yeah.
You try to blame the report card on her.
I did, but he knew what to be in the world. You know what I'm saying? He knew what to be in the world. But again, Mom, I'm sorry for stealing your candy. If you don't charge me interest, I can pay you back.
Okay. Mama, I say charge them interest get there. Go ahead and start from there to the 8th grade, 8 years old, and to now.
Yeah. So
go ahead and get all that interest.
Well,
all of it.
We're gonna have to get a payment plan.
How has that father-son relationship impacted the kind of man you are today as an entrepreneur, as a father?
So I don't have a son, but I do have a grandson.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I was out playing. His mama called me the other day and said, "Yeah, I'm so tired of throwing this ball in here with this boy. I don't know what to do. I'm about to go crazy." I took it as cute. You call him super granddad. Yeah.
Right.
I threw my cape on, right?
I'm on the way.
So I was out there throwing the ball around with him and just like, man, my dad would have loved this moment right here.
Right.
This one right here. You see what I'm saying? He got a grandson. No, yeah. Junior. Yeah, he got a grandson. Yeah. And so I remember how they acted, right? Mm-hmm. But he didn't have him when he was a baby. He was a little bit bigger. Right. But as he would have had Casey as a baby. And so I could see him doing to Casey what he used to do to me. My dad would rub my head. He the only person who rubbed my head and I go right to sleep. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? And I knew he would have did the same thing for me. It was just that you feel like you're being with Mufasa. Right. You know what I'm saying? You got that courage right there.
That protection.
So, yeah. And so that energy there and making sure that we leave a 10-year legacy. My legacy personally will run 10 years deep, and then the next person. So setting people up to be that next person in the family. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Everybody prepared to say, okay, so we take this lead right here and we build our own branch of our family. Mm-hmm. And that's my true goal. For everybody with me in this section now to build their own branch of the family tree, which make our tree stronger, which is going to make our roots deep.
Right. I know your mom said to me once, when I eat, my family fed. Mm-hmm. So you basically pour into yourself, mm-hmm. so your family can be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor. Not only that, you also want them to understand the fruits of the labor that you have produced for them.
Correct. And when she said that, she meant by the time she eats, her family has already eaten. Now because she fed herself, because she fed everybody else first. Mm-hmm. By the time she gets to her food, her entire family.
And what type of advice can you give to any fathers who may not live under the same roof as their child, but they want to make an impact with their child?
You have to make the impact with your child. You have to go by there, set up your times, and in your times, don't let nothing interfere with that time. You can't never be too busy for that time because that kid is looking at you. He's depending on you. My father did it. He spent those times with me after the divorce that made me say, he still cares. Yeah. He still cares because we get that out of sight, out of mind situation going on. Okay, you over there with your new girlfriend and her children. You care more about them than me. This is what I'm assuming. Right. But if you show me different, then I know different. Right. You know what I'm saying? No matter what my mama or my cousin was over here saying about you since you ain't here, I know what we talk about. Right. So be there for them. It's very important that you be there. Fathers, be there for your sons. Father, be there for your daughters. Be there for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Because the daughters have it even worse than the sons. But you got to remember, it's somebody else's father giving her the rules that you should go. Mm-hmm. You got to remember that.
Wait, say that again.
It's somebody else's father giving your daughters the rules that you should get. You know what I'm saying? And most people don't. My daughter grows up with a different set of rules than somebody else. Mm-hmm. He may or may not care the way I do. Right. Now, with my oldest daughter, there was a guy who cared. And I had to tell him, I salute him every time because he took care of my daughter. Right. He really did a great job with it. I appreciate him. So thank you again, sir. But be there for your kids.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Do you think there's enough conversation around Black fatherhood? If so, or if not, what would you like to add to that conversation?
I don't think there's enough positive things going around about Black fatherhood. We do have some negative stuff, right? Just like mothers have some negative stuff, right? We tend to push that to the side for mothers, but not so much for the father, right? Those fathers who are there, they need their props. They need for folks to know that, hey, it is some parents that's out here. It is some fathers that's 100% with their kids. Right. It's some fathers that are fathers to daughters, and it's just them. Mm-hmm. I was the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I got my daughter when she was in the first grade.
Wow.
She graduated high school the other day.
Uh huh.
You know what I'm saying? So, but me and her got our own special bond.
Right.
She just like me. She hates some of the stuff I do. I hate some of the stuff she do. But when we look at it, like, I would have did that too. That's why I don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are so much alike that it's incredible, and I can't wait to see her grow and be an astonishing woman, businesswoman, nurse, whatever it is that she wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
But if I can give you any advice, you do need to be there from the beginning to the end, because you may see the end, and if you ain't got a picture in the end, you're gonna be really, really sick about it.
Right.
You're gonna be really, really sick about it. We got examples of that. Just think about your son's an athlete. He end up in the NFL or the NBA. You can't even say that shit to you.
Right. You just gotta be quiet.
Yeah, can you imagine how you feel? You going to watch your kid play, and you can't even say that's your kid.
Mm-hmm.
Cause you scared he might not even acknowledge you.
Cause I sure won't. I won't. I don't know this man. I don't know this man.
Right. You see what I'm saying? So, and you're not lying.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
You're not lying. You're telling the truth. Yeah. I know what your title is.
Yeah.
That don't mean I know you.
I know how I got here.
Right.
Right. Right.
My thing is, I don't want to put any pain on the kid who don't deserve it.
Yeah.
Right. And that's one of the things that.
Mm-hmm. Especially with kids, because kids take that with them so far in life.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even as well off into their adult years, kids take that with them. Yeah. With all the businesses that you have built, what do you hope your legacy will be, especially as a black man and a son?
The legacy is this: to continue to show other people how to do what I've done. This ain't rocket science.
It don't stop here.
It don't stop here. You know what I'm saying? So my job now is to teach others to do this, right? From my standpoint, ask you to put your own mix to it so you can grow it the way you need to. But my thing is, I want to continue to grow other people in other fields. I get a kick out of being a coach now. I ain't so much of being on the playing field anymore.
Right.
The coaching side is even better for me now, because I get to see people in their prime. I get to see people as they trying to figure it out.
Right.
And so it's just like working with a newborn baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do it. You can do it. Boom, you did.
You got this.
You got it.
I see you walking. Come on.
Yeah. And then that excitement right there, because for the rest of their life, they'll always say, "Hey man, they do right there." And it ain't about them saying that about it. It's just like, yo, you know, they do right there.
Right.
He showed me how.
Like how you give Dr. Gaston his props,
right.
And what Robert Jones they props. Yeah.
Robert Jones, Dr. Gaston, Uncle Ken, Uncle Ed. You know what I'm saying? Eric. Man, all these people, Reginald Davis, Charles Burgess, all these people have been an influence on my life, and I didn't know what the word to call it at first. Mm-hmm. I see exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? Charles was one of the coolest dudes on earth. When I was in high school fighting every day, Charles was cool with the people I was fighting with.
Really?
Yeah. And they'll come up to fight me and say, "Man, I'm gonna go fight Corey." He said, "Well, y'all can, as long as it's one-on-one, y'all can't jump." Mm-hmm. And they followed his rules, and we fought all day. You know what I'm saying? But when nobody finna do nothing outside of what Charles said,
right?
And it was because Charles was big and bad, because I ain't never seen Charles in a fight in his life. People just respected the man for being the man.
Hello.
This is dead on that. So appreciate you again, Chuck. Happy birthday to you. Just missed your birthday, but happy birthday, sir.
Happy birthday, happy Father's Day, all day.
Right.
And I know you're a busy man. You out here influencing people's lives, changing people's lives for the better. My last question: if your father were sitting here today, what would you say to him?
Man, two things. I'm gonna put a motor in the car. I ain't want to have to, but the motor went out in the car, so now I got to put the motor in the car. The paint job look good. The paint job look good, right? But I don't know where it happened from the paint shop, because the motor was fine until it went into the paint shop. Right? And then thank you for everything. Thank you for this experience, man. Thank you for being you. Thank you for the lessons, the way you taught the lessons. Because if you'd have taught me another way, I don't think I would respect you.
Right.
Man, just thank you for your time, man. I appreciate the mission. I really do. And I know that you're looking down on us, man. And I'm going to do a great job. Okay. I promise you. And I'm going to get the car back. Other than that, man, just be easy. Life going to be cool. Watch this movie that we always talk about. I was talking about my life being a movie.
Yeah.
Just watch this movie that we talked about. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff I want you to be here to experience with me physically, but you don't have to be here physically experiencing with me. As long as you're here with me, I already know and I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't do it.
Well, I want to thank you for just showing up and being who you are and just allowing me this time in this moment right here. I appreciate that so much. It really means the most to me. I'm glad we were able to get it on film. I'm glad the viewers were here. Thank y'all for tuning in each and every time. YE, I want to thank you for sponsoring this network. And that's it. That's all.
And a special thank you to our sponsors, YE Entrepreneurs. This was booked, busy, and built different by Des Area, and that's it. That's all.